to Studio 10.
Ooh, meat. We're cooking with Dickeys BBQ this morning. They're sharing insider tips on how to make the best brisket.
Plus, a big honor for a Saraland teacher. She's a finalist for Alabama's Teacher of the Year. We'll chat with Michelle Wade.
Very cool. And a big announcement about this year's Emmy Awards. That's coming up in your entertainment headlines. Welcome into Studio 10 on this Wednesday. I'm Joe Emer.
And I'm Chelsea Sayasan. Happy Wednesday, y'all. We hope that your day is off to a beautiful start. If you're a baseball fan, it could be.
Yeah, so excited to have the chance to talk about baseball. I love baseball, but we know there's no games going on. But here's something you and the fam and your friends can do. Hank Aaron's childhood home and museum reopens to the public today.
Yeah, the Mobile Sports and Entertainment Group says that the museum will now be open Monday through Friday. So the museum will follow guidelines for social distancing and sanitizing. This is phase one of reopening Hank Aaron Stadium.
Crews have been sprucing up the stadium during the coronavirus shutdown. A youth baseball tournament is planned for next weekend, so kind of a couple things gearing up here. There you see the Aaron family kitchen from their home. Lots of cool stuff in that museum if you haven't had a chance to check it out.
Yeah, and it opened up 1 minute ago, so you can now go today and for the rest of the week through Friday. Also, Pritchard gearing up for its first annual Juneteenth celebration Saturday.
It will be held at Pritchard City Hall beginning at 11 in the morning. It's free and open to the public.
There will be a kids zone with spacewalks and games, a discussion panel, vendors, and opportunities to shop from Black business owners.
On the other side of the bay, Daphne is gearing up for a Juneteenth celebration Saturday from noon to 7 on Friendship Road.
There will be free food, vendors, kids activities, and more. Dr. Kiani Gardner, who is the Democratic candidate for Congress, is expected to assist voters in registering to vote.
So a couple of events, different areas for you to go check out if you like. In some Hollywood news, the first major Hollywood award ceremony of the coronavirus pandemic will be hosted by Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, the late night host and comedian is slated to host the Primetime Emmy Awards show on September 20th. The announcement comes as multiple award shows have been postponed because of live events and the coronavirus.
It's unclear how the Emmys will be produced as the world continues to contend with the COVID-19 epidemic. Kimmel released a statement saying, quote, "I don't know where we will do this or how we will do this or even why we are doing this, but we are doing it and I am hosting it."
You've got to love him. So the news comes a day after it was announced that the Oscars would be postponed for the first time in 40 years. I think his quote is pretty spot on. You know, that's still some time away. You don't know who, why, how, but they're going to do it.
Yeah, and so this is in September, so it comes much earlier than the Academy Awards. One of the difficulties they face is that with production shut down, not all the films that were slated to be released had the opportunity to do so, but per the Emmy timeline, most of the TV shows and stuff were kind of out already. So we'll see how they figure it out moving forward. They've got what, July, August, they've got 3.5 months or so to figure it out.
So a lot of time there. And when you think about movies or TV shows, you probably think about Keanu Reeves. And fans may have to wait to see him on the big screen, but they do have the chance to see him kind of in person. Yeah,
Reeves is partnering with Camp Rainbow Gold to fight children's cancer in Idaho. The star of hit movie franchises like The Matrix and John Wick is participating in a charity auction.
So the winner gets to have a Zoom call with the actor for 15 minutes. The market value of the call is $10,000, and bids have already exceeded $15,000. I don't know if someone would pay that much to Zoom call you or me.
Whoa. Reeves has a packed schedule ahead of him, starring in movies like The Matrix 4. That's one of them that had production shut down. They're working to resume that. John Wick Chapter 4 and Bill and Ted Face the Music, which is coming out soon. That one was complete, so we'll see what the latest installment of Bill and Ted has to offer. But at the core of this, what I really like is Keanu Reeves is just kind of known as one of those good guys in Hollywood, doing a lot of charitable work and going to childhood cancer research, and that's great.
Yeah, this is really awesome. If you're a big Reeves fan, that's the way to go.
An amateur golfer pulls off the unthinkable scoring a hole-in-one, and then doing it again.
This is Joe's dream. So quite a week for Brianna Paulson. During an outing, the Nebraska amateur golfer sank a hole-in-one on par 3. Then just days later, she did it again.
Paulson, who only got into the sport a few years back, said she was stunned. 2 holes in one, both on the 5th hole, both par 3s. Oddly enough, both using separate Chick-fil-A branded balls from the same sleeve, a gift from her dad.
Aha! So it's either an amazing amateur Cinderella story or the best PR stunt Chick-fil-A has ever pulled. This is pretty impressive for an amateur golfer. I know every time Joe goes and golfs, he's always like, I'm going to get the hole-in-one today, and it hasn't come yet.
She's got a nice swing. Yeah, so I think the first time my dad took me out golfing, I was 8, so we won't get into exact specifics, but we'll say it's been 30 plus years of golf and still looking for that first hole-in-one.
Maybe it's, what did we say, par 3 on the 5th hole?
Par 3 on the 5th hole. The course I usually play the most has a par 3 on the 4th hole.
Ah, and you may need a Chick-fil-A golf ball.
Yeah, and that's the key, I guess.
That is the key. Well, this is really funny, y'all. Michigan man who was pranked last year for his birthday gets an equally funny prank this year, too.
In 2019, Greg Johnson's buddies plastered his face on a billboard. They listed his cell phone number, asking people to send him birthday texts. That's awesome.
So wrong. So this year, a few days before his birthday, Johnson got a message that his new car had a recall, but when he got the car back, the car had his face, phone number, and childhood picture plastered all over it. This has Joe Emer all over it.
These dudes are awesome. I love this. The prank came courtesy of his friend's graphics business. The wrap will have to be removed professionally, but Greg isn't sweating it, saying it's all in good fun.
That is so much fun. I wonder if he had to change his phone number from the time before. You know, billboards work, and that's definitely a way to get people to text you.
It's always a debate when you're pulling a prank between me and my buddies, how much to spend on the prank. It has to see how it's worth it. So they've got the hookup to the graphics design business, so that saves them some costs and helps them go forward with this.
So funny. Happy birthday to him.
I've had some ideas that I haven't gone forward with because they're too expensive. Maybe I just need to step it up.
Or maybe not.
Maybe you need to go to Dickeys BBQ if you haven't checked it out before. Lots of great stuff.
Yeah, today they are making the perfect brisket. Check it out.
Y'all, I'm Laura Ray Dickey.
And I'm Chef Phil Butler.
And we're here in the original Dickeys BBQ. We've been smoking brisket here since 1941, and we wanted to share a few of our barbecue insider secrets with y'all. In fact, Chef, you've taught me one of my favorite barbecue pieces of wisdom, and I have this gorgeous raw brisket here. And so if we wanted to do this at home, you taught me if I can bend it, I can buy it. Now, why is that?
Because there's 2 muscles on a brisket. There is the point and the flat. So the point sits on top, the flat sits on the bottom, and there's a piece of fat that runs through it, and that fat will not render out. So all you're doing is trimming it out, throwing it away, so you're paying money for that extra fat. So if you can bend it, it means there's not a lot of fat between those 2 muscles.
Which I love that tip. So you can't smoke it out. It's not going to add to the flavor. And if you want to get to this gorgeous brisket also that you've got in front of you, you just do a really simple 3-step process.
Yeah, we trim it, get down to about 1/4 inch of fat on top, and then lastly we rub it. And you can rub with olive oil, mustard, Worcestershire, but we do yellow mustard.
Yep.
And then salt and pepper. That's it. So salt and pepper, the hickory smoke, low and slow.
And not a lot of mustard, right, Chef? I mean, just a light coating, and then you just rub it in, and you make sure that salt and pepper's there, and that's what that gorgeous bark is, right?
That's it. And the bark is the formation because of the reaction between the smoke and the mustard and the salt and pepper. And then we go ahead and get our slices, and then on the slices you'll notice the ring, and that's the reaction between the smoke.
That gorgeous smoke ring, yes. Yep. Well, and I always know, because you know I'm great at eating barbecue, you are great at smoking barbecue, but it should look as good as it tastes. And you have that great bark, but that smoke ring you can see right there, and that's the other thing that I love you taught me, was that it should just be about pencil eraser thick as a slice, right? Yep. And you should have no resistance, and that's how you know that you've smoked it low and slow at what we do 12 to 14 hours, 225 degrees, and that's about what we would want to do at home.
Yes, and again, when you're at home, the real important thing about brisket is temperature control in the pit. And especially if you have a smaller pit, cut that wood smaller. Don't try to throw big sticks of wood into it. It's not going to smoke. It's going to give you high and lows, and that's not what you need for barbecue.
And you want that nice, gorgeous finish to just be able to do a classic brisket like that, or you always chop it off with great sauces, peppers, all those extra pieces. But we hope that that helps y'all do a little bit of brisket and barbecue at home this weekend. And if you don't want to take that 12 to 14 hours yourself, you can come see us at Dickeys BBQ or Dickeys.com.
Delicious.
So there's a Dickeys real close to the station here.
Yeah.
I've been there a time or two.
Maybe lunch?
Maybe.
What a tease.
A big honor for one Saraland teacher this morning.
Yeah, that's right. Michelle Wade is a finalist for Alabama's Teacher of the Year. We'll chat with her about the school year and her passion for teaching. Next, that's on Studio 10.
Welcome to Studio 10.
Welcome back to Studio 10. We have a really special guest with us this morning. We've got Michelle Wade. She's a teacher with Saraland City Schools. She's also a finalist for Alabama Teacher of the Year. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're so glad that you are here. We're outside on our beautiful jet deck. It's a beautiful morning. We want to talk about what you're up for, Alabama Teacher of the Year.
Well, I received the honor of being chosen as one of the District 1 Teachers of the Year for the elementary, and so there were 16 finalists chosen in the state, and so from that point they'll narrow it down to 4 and then select the State Teacher of the Year. So I'm just honored to be even a part of a group like that.
So exciting, and we know your passion is part of the reason why you were, chosen for one of the finalists. We want to talk about something really fun and what you teach. People call you the Mary Poppins of Saraland City Schools.
Yes, so I've always loved music. I grew up taking piano lessons from my great-grandmother at a young age, and just seeing how music is a place for genuine connection to happen and wanting to give that opportunity to my students. So within the past 7 years of working at Saraland City Schools, I've had the pleasure of beginning the elementary show choir program, which is an auditioned 50-member show choir with costumes and everything, and try to make it as fun as possible for the kids. So one of their shows was a Mary Poppins theme, and so I surprised the kids by dressing as Mary Poppins and did the announcements for the show as that. And so it's just been beautiful to see how connections can happen through teaching music, and it's a lifetime investment for me, for sure.
Yeah, you can definitely see the passion in that, and obviously this year was so different for you and teachers across the world with COVID-19. Now, how was teaching music virtually, essentially?
Yes, it was definitely a challenge when we stopped meeting together at the school, right? My choir was preparing to go to Universal Studios to do a competition, and then all of those plans were put to a halt. And so, but my principal made a good point to us as educators that this is a good opportunity to teach the students, what do you do with disappointments? When life gives you lemons, how can you make lemonade? So lemonade for me, it looked like going outside and shooting some videos of me doing some sing-along books with the kids. I did a Zoom talent show where the kids got to perform, and I made some homemade trophies for them, and I went to their houses and delivered. One day I dressed up as Mary Poppins and visited them with signs, and so for me, connection was the main thing. Connection and just trying to encourage them to be musical during their time at home.
Which is so important, especially for the babies there at the Saraland Early Education Center and Saraland Elementary School. Now we want to talk about next steps in this big old thing. So you were just telling me how you are down to 16, they go eventually down to 4 and to 1. So what are the next steps for you?
The next step would be an interview, and so sometime in July we'll have an interview process, and then in August is when they'll announce the Teacher of the Year. And so, up to that point, just keep teaching music and loving on the kids. And so music has always been, a passion of mine. So, and as part of my platform, one thing that I'm very passionate about, and especially in this unique time in our country where there's so much division, not only do I have the Saraland Show Choir, but I also have an International Children's Choir. And so to be able to use that as a platform, because you know, so many times I think we are divided, but music has a way of connecting. And so for me, one of the most rewarding things in my career was seeing kids come together from Burundi, Iraq, all of these different countries, backgrounds, religions, and to sing together. And so it's, you know, my goal to continue in building that and to just speaking about that, because I believe that that is a way that we can be the change in our community.
And that is beautiful. One last thing, what would you have to say to teachers in our area specifically who may need a little hope during this time of COVID-19?
I would say, you know, like I said before, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Like, look for opportunities to have genuine, authentic connections with your students. Because the thing is, you know, I think every teacher wonders, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? But do the one thing that you see in front of you and do it as well as you can. And if you make that connection with that child, that can impact the rest of their life. So, so instead of thinking about what we can't do, you know, be faithful with what we can.
What a perspective. Well, we are so excited for you, so proud of you here in the Gulf Coast, and excited to see where you go from here, and best of luck, of course, to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Sure thing. We'll have more about Michelle on our website right after the show, fox10tv.com. Joe.
Wow, it's people like that that can impact the entire community. Great stuff there. What's some great messages from Michelle as well. Thanks for stopping by Studio 10. We're going to take a look at some of your news headlines next. Plus, if you're struggling to get rid of stubborn fat, we'll check out Cool Sculpting at Advanced Dermatology and Skincare. Stick around. We'll be right back.
We are back here at Advanced Dermatology with Dr. Thomas Bender. Good morning.
Morning.
Good to see you. It's nice to be back. Now we've got our masks on, so you guys are doing things differently now.
We are. I mean, you see the N95 masks, so we're just doing that to make sure we protect our patients, make sure people feel comfortable coming to see us. And they're not real comfortable for us, but it's just what we need to do right now.
That's right. And as soon as you walk in, something that'll make you even more comfortable at home, you guys are doing temperature checks to make sure everyone is below that temp.
We are. We're doing pre-screening questions, making sure, you know, seeing where folks have traveled, for example, seeing if they've been around anyone who's been sick, and also we're taking temperature checks.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. And with COVID-19, it came a lot of us were just sitting at home, so we may have gained a couple of extra pounds, but you guys have a solution to that.
We do, we do. So of course we have Cool Sculpting. We've talked about this before. I mean, it's just wonderful. Patients especially that are trying to get back out, they're trying to exercise, they're trying to eat better, you know, that they've gotten off the COVID-19 diet, and the Cool Sculpting kind of fills in that gap. You know, they've got one area they just can't get rid of no matter how hard they work, and so we really want them to come in and let us take a look, and we'll let them know what Cool Sculpting can do for them.
Yeah, something really cool about Cool Sculpting is that it's really easy and non-surgical.
Exactly. We love non-invasive treatments in dermatology, and this is one of the best ones.
And finally, telehealth. You guys are really helping our folks at home who want to stay at home right now, and extended hours.
Yeah, so, you know, telehealth, telemedicine, of course, critical during this time. You know, some patients just can't get out. You know, maybe their immune system is down for whatever reason. Makes it easier for them to get some care. And then now, for those folks who just can't get in during business hours from 5:30 to 7:30 in the evening, we're offering telemedicine as well.
Yeah, so definitely keep that in mind. Of course, we'll have all this information on our website. We'll link their website as well. Dr. Bender, always great to see you.
Great to see you as well.
Checking out your news headlines, police need your help this morning to find the person who opened fire during a recent block party, injuring 3 people, including a 16-year-old girl. It happened over the weekend, a woman capturing the scary moments on her smartphone while doing a Facebook Live. All of a sudden, gunshots ring out, people duck and run for cover. A man, woman, and 16-year-old girl were all rushed to the hospital with gunshot wounds. None of the injuries appear to be life-threatening. Mobile police are pleading for anyone with information to come forward. Police say there were more than 300 people at that party, so they're hoping someone saw something and will say something. Well, New York, the once epicenter of the COVID-19 outbreak, is reporting its lowest number of hospitalizations and deaths. Other areas of the country are seeing all-time highs. Florida had more than 2,700 new cases yesterday. That's the largest one-day increase since the pandemic began, forcing Florida to hit the pause button on the next reopening phase. The worry is, if not controlled, governments may have to close things down again. Arizona's ICU capacity is at more than 80%, while in Texas, COVID hospitalizations reached an all-time high this week. Now, projections that are new from the University of Washington predict more than 30,000 additional deaths by October. The COVID-19 pandemic is changing the way people will vote in the upcoming July 14th runoff election. Baldwin County election officials say more people than ever will vote from the comfort of their own home. We're less than 4 weeks from the runoff election, and in Baldwin County, they're already making history with the number of people getting absentee ballots.
We've done over 1,500 for the runoff, and that's unheard of. I've never had anything close to that in absentee for a runoff election.
If you want to request an absentee ballot in Alabama, we put everything you need to know on our Fox 10 News app. We have a heads up for drivers this morning. There is a months-long resurfacing project to warn you about. Starting Sunday, AlDOT will be working on roughly 8 miles of milling, paving, and striping on I-65. Crews will be working from the I-65 I-10 interchange to the Main Street overpass in Pritchard near Exit 8. There will be weekly nighttime alternating lane closures Sundays through Thursdays from 7 until 6. The more than $4.5 million project is set to be finished by January. And if you're looking to finish a project outside today, probably no problem with the weather, Michael.
Not at all, Joe. In fact, we have gotten a little gift to start this week. Our humidity unseasonably low for mid-June, and that has cut down on the number of showers and storms we see during the second half of our days. Right now, we got mid-70s in Mobile and Pensacola with east winds at about 8 miles per hour. Now, typically in the summer months, June, July, August, our dew points are over 70, but they are in the mid to low 60s, which means there's not as much moisture in the air and it feels pretty good outside. But where the air is more humid is where we have seen some isolated rain. We got some heavier showers located south of Pascagoula. That's where we have a marine warning, and a shower that was over Gulf Shores for a good 45 minutes now way out over the open waters of the Gulf. Everyone on shore dry with just a mix of sun and clouds and an east wind. We'll deal with east winds through much of the day. South winds will creep in later this afternoon. We'll top out in the upper 80s, and the rain chances stay isolated between now and the end of the Father's Day weekend. About 10 to 20% coverage between now and Sunday. But as we move in toward next week, that's when we'll start to see more widespread chances for rain and storms. This upper low, this broad counterclockwise motion that you see around Charlotte and Raleigh on the water vapor satellite imagery, it's an area of low pressure that's at about 18,000 feet off the ground. That's what's been pulling in north wind flow, keeping the air relatively stable. As that feature moves away, that's what's going to help bring in the south winds and bring that humidity back up. Temperatures will top out in the upper 80s later today. Rain chances do stay spotty, but they do get better next week, and the muggy air will also return. We're going to talk all about it coming up with our Futurecast and 7-day outlook in our next half hour right here on Studio 10. Guys.
All right, so a nice day, another nice day. We have had several in a row here.
Yeah.
Just great stuff right now.
Yeah, take it in, enjoy it, because we know the summer rain will come. All right, coming up on Studio 10, we have some important information from Baldwin County Sheriff Hoss Mack on summer safety and COVID-19.
You're watching Studio 10. We'll be right back.
We have another Ask the Sheriff for you today. We've got Baldwin County Sheriff Huey Hoss Mack with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're glad you are here. Now we want to go ahead and talk about a lot of things. COVID-19, we're starting to see things open up, more events. Are you guys seeing any more problem areas now because of that?
Well, certainly. One of the things was the immediate impact once we started seeing the limited and then the stepped up opening was traffic. A lot more traffic in Baldwin County. And so when you have more traffic, you have more traffic accidents, you have more congestion. And it kind of coincided a little bit as with the events that we recently went through, those of bad weather. So we have seen an increase in motor vehicle accidents. We have seen an increase in traffic related issues.
Now, we also want to talk about social distancing. The thing with this, especially in our area, the beaches. Now, from every point of view we have, it looks like people are pretty much doing their part. But with you guys, are you seeing social distancing in stores, at the beaches, wherever these events are happening at?
I would say on the beaches we've probably seen the most practicing of social distancing. A lot of times what you see is people may have an iPhone video or something like that, and that's only giving you one-dimensional. So what we did in order to really see what was going on, we've been flying the beach both with our drone and with aircraft and been monitoring that way, and from the air you see a much different picture. So we see family units, we see friends that are together, but we've seen a lot of spreading out. So we were very pleased, particularly going through the initial Memorial Day weekend, which was a big weekend for us, to see that a lot of the social distancing was taking place.
Good news there for all of our beach lovers, because I did not want the beaches to be closed again. So that's good news. Let's keep that up, especially at the beaches. We also want to talk about crime. Now, COVID-19 was such a weird time for all of us. A lot of folks were staying home. Did you see a decrease in crime during the pandemic?
We did. We actually, at one point in time, during one particular week, we had over a 30% decrease in property-related crime. And a lot of that had to do with people being at home, so that they knew that they were at home both during the day, which is when most of your burglaries occur, and even more so at night, which is when a lot of our thefts from vehicles occur. So we did see a significant decrease in crime. We have started to see it come back up, but fortunately, it still hasn't gotten back up to the level that we had pre-COVID.
Which is great news there as well. Finally, we want to talk about any events that you guys are happening that we need to know about at home.
Well, as you know, a lot of events have been canceled or rescheduled in Baldwin County. The most recent one, we had a concert with Alan Jackson that got moved because of weather. But basically stay tuned to all of your media, social media, television. A lot of those things, even though they say may be occurring as an event, are very subject to change. And I would say that we're probably going to see that for the remainder of this year. Because keep in mind, while we're still under the governor's order until July the 8th, there's the possibility that the order may be extended, and then of course beginning June the 1st, we're now in hurricane season. So there's a lot of influences there, but we do see a lot of events starting to open up. The biggest thing is all of our event participants that we work with are all still going to be practicing social distancing, whether it's in lines going into the venue or in the venue itself. So just be mindful that those things are going to be around for a pretty good while.
Yeah, definitely keep that in mind. Now, if they want to stay updated with you guys specifically, you have a Facebook page, right?
We do. You can go to our Facebook page. You can also, we have a phone app. You can go to the App Store and download Baldwin County, Alabama Sheriff's Office, and we do send alerts out, both weather as well as community alerts on that, and you can stay tuned with what Sheriff's Office is working in Baldwin County.
All right, y'all stay in the know. Sheriff, thank you for being here today. Thank you for helping keep us safe, and we will see you very soon.
My pleasure. Thank you.
JCPenney is closing some of its stores, which means big discounts for customers. And pizza, one of the favorite foods out there. We're going to show you how to mix it up a little bit and make a stromboli. Holy cannoli, we're making stromboli. That's next with Jillian Lopez right here on Studio 10.
Welcome back to Studio 10. In pizza news this morning, if you're getting tired of ordering pizza, you can make something new, a stromboli.
I'm always into any sort of updates on pizza. Jillian Lopez joins us with a fun and simple recipe.
All right, well, we're probably all sick of eating the same things for dinner every night, so I decided I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I have all the ingredients here to make a homemade stromboli, but here's the thing, I need a little help in the kitchen, so I'm gonna turn to a pizza expert to show me how it's done. But I'm ready for him because I have my pizza tray that says, "In pizza, we crust." So I'm ready, let's get to it.
We have some dough. I'm just gonna open this here.
Okay.
All right, and this is pizza dough, so don't take it out yet.
Okay.
Okay, we're just opening it up.
Okay.
And then we have our sheet tray. It's like a cookie tray or a sheet tray, so we have that. All right, so we're gonna leave that on the side. And I have sliced mozzarella cheese, and then we have shredded mozzarella cheese. Can we see that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so then we have some oil, some parsley, some pecorino romano, and then finally we have some sauce. You want it to preheat the oven to 450 degrees, everybody, all right? So now my hands have a little oil on there, so it'll be a little easier to handle the stromboli and not stick. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go in, you see my hands? And I'm just gonna let it come on my hand and flop it on top of the table. I'm grabbing it from here, and I'm opening it up, and I'm making it into a square shape. So look, I'll hold mine up. It should look like that. You can use half of the amount of cheese and literally just put it in the middle in a straight line. I'm just putting pepperoni, okay? So what you can do is, now's a good time. Here, I got some pepperoni here.
Okay.
This is about 3 ounces. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on there. Pecorino Romano. Break it in 3 pieces, and we'll just kind of, like that, like a strip.
Okay.
And we'll just line it diagonally across. We're gonna get the 2 back corners.
Okay.
And we're just gonna flip it over to the top like that.
Okay. You can do that.
Yeah, and now you're gonna grab the rest,
Okay.
and you're gonna roll it like you're rolling up a burrito. Look,
Ooh.
like that. And just roll it and leave it flat on the table. Now you should have a little bit of oil.
Yes.
So you use some for your fingers. So now take some oil. We'll put it into the pan.
Okay.
We're gonna take this pan and we're gonna rub the oil on so you get some grease. And easily, look, you're just gonna pick up your stromboli and place it flat down on the pan. I'm just gonna go slit, slit, slit. So I'll make
4 slits.
four cuts on top across. So now you're just gonna take this pan and you're gonna put it inside the 450-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. The final step, we want to garnish this thing and then we're gonna cut it, okay?
Okay.
So what I'll do is this. We're gonna take some of the oil. Now you can pour the oil on, right? You can drizzle it on top. And then what we do is we dehydrate and dry it out ourselves. Just smell the parsley and we'll cut it across there. And then look at this. It's kind of, that's what it would look like in the middle. It's got all the cheese. What I like to do with the sauce is, some people will heat the sauce up. You don't want to put the sauce inside the stromboli.
Okay.
So the way I like to eat it, because I'm from Brooklyn, and so we take the stromboli, it's hot melted cheese, and we dip it in the cold sauce like that.
Wow.
And it coats like this. You see that? And then from there, we just, is it okay if I take a bite?
Of course.
So I just want to.
Oh, it looks so good. I can't wait to try mine. Well, I love it. And this is so easy to make. If I can do it, anyone can do it. So thank you
So
for...
easy to make.
That sauce looked pretty good there. Check it out in your business headlines. JCPenney is starting the shutdown process for several of its stores. The retailer previously announced 137 stores will close their doors for good across the U.S. Now, the company says it will pay more attention to stores with the strongest sales and focus on jcp.com. As the stores prepare to close, customers are being offered discounts up to 40%. All purchases will be final as of June 25th. A list of the locations that are closing are available on the JCPenney blog. Facebook wants to make sure you're getting out to vote during this year's elections. The social media giant announcing the creation of its Voting Information Center. This new tool is available starting today on your Facebook news feed. It's designed to help ensure voter turnout is increased during local elections as well as the presidential election in November. Facebook will provide users with details on how to register to vote in their state, where to find their town's voting center, how they can mail in a ballot, and more. The Voting Information Center is also expected to be available on Instagram later in the summer. As companies begin to reopen with restrictions, Amazon is trying new ways to protect employees. The company is testing out wearable social distancing tech in a warehouse in Washington state. Starting today, workers can use a device which makes a noise and lights up when it notices people are too close. Employees pick up the device at the beginning of their shifts and drop it off when they're ready to head home. Amazon also announcing Distance Assistance, a system using cameras and monitors which alert workers if they're too close to each other as they walk by the camera. These systems will be tried out in a few U.S. warehouses. So there you have it. Lots of information out there. Lots of people doing whatever they can to try to protect themselves during this time.
That's right, distance assistance. Well, coming up on Studio 10, we'll check in with your weather forecast with meteorologist Michael White. But first, here's a look at today's steals and deals.
Hey, Lisa Robertson here with a really good idea. With local steals and deals, we're always looking for finds that are going to make your life better on a day-to-day basis. One of the best finds I've seen so far, Clean Key. It's the coolest little invention. It's a 99.9% pure copper alloy. Did you know that on most surfaces, bacteria can live for up to 3 days? 3 days. Who has been touching that keypad in the last 3 days? Now it's not going to be you because this goes on your keychain, this goes right here, and now you're doing the keypad, now you're doing the buttons. Now, if it's a lever style door, you can just go chink. Don't even have to touch the door to open it. Right now on localsteals.com, this is 30% off. So we're adding to your quality of life on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to wipe things down. One little clean key on your keychain and you are good to go. So one of the great ideas we have for you, localsteals.com, 30% off. You're gonna love it.
Hey everyone, I'm Andrea Belke with your People Update. Tyler Perry is our People cover star this week. It's all part of our 100 Reasons to Love America issue. In it, he pens an exclusive essay about racial injustice and the world he wants for his son. He tells us, "It is my duty to prepare my son for the harsh reality that awaits him outside of the watchful eyes of his loving parents." He ends his emotional essay saying, "It is my hope that we continue these hard conversations coming out of respective corners, to talk to each other, but most of all to hear each other, so that this mourning in America will give way to morning in America." Sherry Shepard is sharing her own thoughts on racial injustice and says there needs to be white voices in the conversation as well. Listen to this.
I don't want people to get into a complacency. I think that you have to step out of your comfort zone, and it's up to people like you to say enough is enough, because we as Black people have been screaming racism for so long. So we need other voices to be in this fight.
We have more from our interview with Sherry on People Now, streaming on Twitter. Father's Day is Sunday, and Alex Trebek's children are reflecting on their loving dad. In a blog post shared by his wife Jean, Trebek's kids, Matthew, Emily, and Nikki, share the traits they inherited from the Jeopardy host. They also list the attributes they admire the most about him. Matthew says he admires Trebek's persistence when it comes to solving challenges. For Emily, she admires her father's unshakable determination. And for Nikki, it's her dad's generosity and humility, even as he battles pancreatic cancer. For these stories and more entertainment news, check out People Now, streaming live on weekdays on People's Twitter handle, and download the People TV app. You can also subscribe to People Magazine by heading to peoplemagazine.com/special offer.
All right, a lot of things to look forward to. Something we look forward to is the sunshine.
That's right. My kids have swimming lessons again today. Can't have rain or lightning for that, Michael.
Definitely not, especially that lightning. We always like to use the expression when thunder roars, go indoors, and we get a lot of lightning in the summertime. Now, could we see a stray shower popping up at some point today? Yes, mostly in the coastal regions. The coverage of rain will only be about 20%, so most of us will not have to deal with any showers or storms, and then we'll see those fading away by this evening. The coverage of rain, though, will go up for more spots as we head into next week. Today, we're expecting a high under 90, isolated storm possible, warm with a light south wind. Overnight tonight, we're going to be bottoming out in the upper 60s. The wind calm, generally quiet overnight with the sky partly cloudy. Here's how the next 7 days stack up, and rain coverage basically stays the same through Father's Day weekend, but it gets hotter and more humid as moisture levels rise. The high temperatures will climb back above 90. Morning temps get back into the 70s, and next week we do start to deal with higher coverage of rain and storms, getting up into 50% territory by the time we head in towards next Tuesday. Jason will update that forecast this afternoon on Fox 10 beginning at 4. And of course, we'll have updates throughout the day on Fox 10 News Now and on social media. Guys.
All right, Michael, thank you. Fox 10 News continues to honor local graduates. Throughout the month of June, we will be working with the Mobile County school system to salute the valedictorian and salutatorian of each school.
So this morning, we want to honor Micaiah Lilly of Viger High School for all of her outstanding accomplishments.
Hello, my name is Micaiah Lilly, and I am the salutatorian for Viger's graduating class of 2020. While attending Viger, I took AP honors classes, I was a part of the National Honor Society, and I also held multiple leadership roles in JROTC. After I graduate from Viger High School, I plan on matriculating to Alabama A&M University to major in English and minor in legal studies. Something I will miss about Viger is that there are so many mentors there that shaped me to become the individual that I am today, and I think I will miss that constant support that I had. I would like to thank my teachers and my parents, my grandparents as well, anyone who really helped me along the way or motivated me.
Top of the Class is sponsored by All In Credit Union.
So congratulations, Micaiah. Good luck to you on your future endeavors.
Yeah, if you're missing your senior on TV, you can head to our website, fox10tv.com, or it's on our YouTube page as well. Thanks for sticking around with Studio 10.
Yeah, so go check that out. We'll be right back with more in just a bit. Breaking news, there's a marsupial on the loose in Colorado. The town of Aurora has an unexpected visitor, an Australian wallaby.
So cute. So far they have had no luck catching it. Gary Brode hops on the story for us.
He's exciting. He's famous now.
It should come as no surprise, this wallaby is the talk of an Aurora neighborhood. We're a long way from Australia. And fitting enough, Surprise is his actual name.
He went from being this tiny little guy in Larkspur that not a lot of people know about, and now he's famous in Aurora.
Surprise went missing 2 weeks ago from Zoology Foundation Sanctuary in Larkspur.
He came to us as a joey. He's been with us for 10 years.
Tuesday morning was the first Surprise sighting since his escape. He was spotted in the East Quincy Highlands neighborhood, 40-some miles from home.
It's the 13th level of Jumanji has opened up, so 2020 does not disappoint.
Elise Torres reported the sighting to the sanctuary after seeing a post on a neighborhood Facebook page.
And one of the neighbors had said that they saw a kangaroo while walking. I called my mom and I had talked to her about what was going on, and I'm like, supposedly there's a kangaroo in the neighborhood, and she starts laughing and she says, actually somebody had lost a wallaby.
As word spreads, neighbors' interest increases.
We'll definitely have to keep our eye out.
Hoping for a glimpse.
What's next? Well, we'll have things falling from the skies. Who knows? But wallabies, bring it on.
I wonder if my dogs would like a wallaby.
Or if it might kangaroo in their day. Someone call Nintendo. The boss for the next Super Mario Brothers game has been found in Virginia. Meet Lord Fairfax.
He's so scary and handsome. So he was found trying to cross the road in Fairfax County. Police rescued him and brought him to an animal shelter where it was determined that the reptile is actually an alligator snapping turtle. So unlike their common snapping turtle cousins, alligator snappers are not native in Virginia.
Is it part alligator, part turtle?
Yes.
Authorities believe he was released into the wild, perhaps starting his life as a pet. Lord Fairfax is now at the Virginia Zoo in Norfolk.
Officials there hope the 65-pound youngster can eventually grow into a healthy adult, which can weigh more than 200 pounds. That is a huge turtle. He kind of looks a little scary to me. Look at that.
Are you familiar with Bowser from Super Mario Brothers?
Yes.
Okay. So in some games, you have to jump on his back 3 times before he flies away. In other games, you have to jump over him and land on that silver hammer thing.
I've always had to jump over in the games.
And the drawbridge goes away?
Yes, that's exactly
and Bowser, a.k.a. Lord Fairfax, falls into the lava. An incredibly rare sight in northwest China. A snow leopard mother was seen nursing her newborn cubs in the wild.
So sweet. Snow leopards mainly inhabit the Himalayas in Central and Southern Asia. They are often called ghosts of the mountains because they are so rarely seen and they spend most of their lives in solitude.
Because of my white skin, I'm also referred to as ghost of the station when I walk around. Staff at a Chinese national park installed a camera to watch the cubs. Snow leopards are a first-class protected animal in China.
So sweet. So they are, look how cute that is.
Wow.
The fact that they don't get to see them very often and then they get this video.
He's trying to get up. Come on, man.
Oh, so cute. I wonder what they eat.
Humans.
Well, I hope not. That's why I'm not in Southern Asia right now. But they are super cute. Really happy that they look happy.
Yeah. So as mentioned earlier, when we run these animal stories, I just think of the fact that I recently went to the new zoo that has opened in Gulf Shores. We got to see a lot of these kind of things, leopards, lions, tigers. The coolest thing was the giraffe. That's what I was going to get to. They have this scratching post set up for the giraffe, and it's real close to where the people can go. So you can see the giraffe come over and scratch, and his face is 6 feet away from you, and you're looking at it oh, check that out. Maybe 10 feet.
Yeah, how cool is that? So if you're here for the weekend or for the week, you need something to do, that's what you can do.
All right, thanks for watching us here on Studio 10. Guys, we have another beautiful day in store. Lower humidity. Temperature's still going to get to the 90s, but all in all, for June in our area, that's pretty good. Hope you have a chance to enjoy it.
Enjoy the day. We will see you tomorrow on Studio 10.